Greetings one and all. So this product that you are seeing here is barbecue jerk pork chops. This was an awesome run. In this video you will see from start to finish. This was a mouth-watering jerk pork meal. This was for sharing with friends during the Christmas season. Something like potluck. You know, the customer came up with the idea and they cooked up such an idea that was just awesome, but I executed. So basically the customer did this through my hands. Follow along. This is me, Jerry, Chef Jerry. So this is going to be jerk barbecue or just straight barbecue pork chops. Got several servings here. Repeat customer. If you don't want a headache during the Christmas, get your stuff done by us here at Jerry's Jerk Joint. Yeah, well seasoned and thing. So we're using charcoal as the heat source for the pork. Yeah, charcoal as the heat source. So basically from this point on, I'll be ensuring that the right amount of smoke is in the pan and the right temperature is gained. Right now it just start, you know. Yes, the smoke is nice, steady, but we don't get the temperature quite as yet, so we're gonna leave it and check it again over and over. Temperature just start to build up a little. Yeah, as you can see, there's more smoke in there. We took some break and come back after a few minutes just to check and see what is what, because the temperature gauge wasn't inside the pan from the start, so it's not showing the exact temperature. Each time we look, we see a different temperature. So right now it built up to about 280, 290, somewhere along there. Not until it reach around 350 or so we're going to start to see some real evident cooking. So at that time I just cleaned off the dial for that temperature gauge so I could see clearly, because the smoke tends to give it a look and like a smoke film. Right now we're going to be checking it again. So now we start to see some activity where the cooking is concerned, and it almost reached up to 400 degrees. At this stage we try to move 1 and 2 pieces, realize that it starts to stick to the base of the baking sheet, and we'll check a few pieces just to make sure that all of them have the same kind of feel. You know, there's even distribution with the heat and thing. 1 and 2 kind of ease up because it releases juices and so forth, natural juices from the meat. But we're gonna come in with a favorite secret, and every country have them secret, but this is ours. Jamaica Red Stripe Lager Beer. You know, there's not many who can come very close to this, and this one we're going to drop right on this pork. So we're going to use it just like other persons would utilize wine, and just let the pork just soak it up. Other people say the glaze, you know, that's the fancy term. So right now we're going to just allow the pork to soak up all of that flavor. The alcohol content is just gonna be burnt off, you know, but you're going to soak up all of that on one side, and we'll come back and check with it. Yeah, so here we'll come back and check, and the pieces start to lift up now, and at this stage we just going to check a couple of them, flip some of them as we can, but it's just to check and make sure, say, it start do what it's supposed to do, which is, make the pork chops easy to turn so that we can allow the other side to soak up some of that flavor. This flavor makes such a difference in the pork, and the smoke that is just bellowing all over the top part of that exposed meat is just sending in some nice charcoal flavor. The charcoal that is made here in Jamaica is just next to none. I mean, having wood or board or wood that the charcoal that is made from apple wood and all of those fancy fruit trees is great, But when you get pimento wood and you get sweet wood and all the different types of wood that they use for jerk chicken and jerk pork in Jamaica, the flavor is just next to none. So we're going to try and see if we can turn each individual piece and ensure that it soak up properly. And then right here, when everything change and turn over and everything, we're going to just cover it with another baking tray equal size. And with this way, it's just gonna have a steam effect and tenderize the pork skin. So it did, the other pan did what it was supposed to do, and we took it out and put it directly on the grill. And at this time it started taking some smoke. We dip one and two of them, as you can see at the top pan. We dip a few of them. Those were more ready than others, like the ones to the top left. And we come back and we check, and most of them barbecue up. We dip and brush them on and thing, and we do it heavy, and then we leave it to smoke and stick or cling to the meat, so it's still moist and everything. But boy, may I tell you, man, when you see the other video, you will understand. I mean, just looking on this, I'm getting hungry, I'm salivating, I'm just wanting to try this all over again. So this is when I was just packaging out the customer's container. This is some disposable container, foil containers, half pan, 2-inch, I believe. Whether it was 2-inch or 4-inch, but I think it was a 2-inch size. And so we'll sprinkle some peppercorn, like what they put on pizza, and we'll sprinkle some parsley. All of these are dehydrated versions, the dried version of the spices and herb. This just add a pop of, texture and flavor. Also, it garnishes the meat. And this was just extra for the home of the client. They could just not go without having some for themselves as extra. So this is a wrap, and I really enjoyed this one from start to finish. We showcase how we put it on the tray to the finished part, which is this. And trust me, I wish I did buy some extra so I could actually sample it myself. But I know, tasting the sauce and the spices, this was just a win. And of course the customer take all of the props and thing, but I knew the secret until now. Greetings everyone, this is Chef Jerry from Jerry's Jerry Joint. A lot of you know me from catering, whether it be a wedding, funeral, memorial, a meeting, barbecue, fish fry. You know me for the large events, the large events that you love. A lot of persons love the jerk chicken, love the jerk pork, the sausage, mashed potato, the wedges, the fries, you name it, rice and peas, whatever is done with these hands, God has blessed them, And with that talent over the years, like more than 2 decades in that space, in this industry, kitchen management and all of that, I have developed a recipe book. And this recipe book helps a lot of persons to use simple recipes to change their entire life in terms of life in the kitchen. This is a basic need. Knowledge how to cook food that you love, and to turn around and share that with family and friends in order for that experience of love and union, and just to share something that you have offered. You brought it together for them to enjoy, all from your hands, your time, energy, everything that you have to offer in a meal. And you're able to do this step by step, and we'll be dealing with a course, via Zoom, and we'll be having in-person training, right? So we have done workshops with persons and they love it. Persons who are virgin in the kitchen, and they are able to garner enough confidence, and that has made them reach the stage where they are able to cook food even the next day for their family and friends. And this has even given them the appetite to explore other methods. And in using the book with the steps and the guide and the recipes inside there, they have just taken off on a different dimension, even through simple recipes. And so I'm inviting you, if you want to learn how to cook, how to change your life through the spices, herbs and spice blends that I have. The sauce, I have like a pepper sauce, and I have like festival mix that will make your fried dumpling good. If you want good festival, that will make a festival good. And this is the same mix that I use in my events. So it's not something that I'm not using on a day-to-day basis. This is something that I sell, And so one way or another, if you want to learn, just make a link, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be hitting you up. We'll be establishing the day, the month, the time for the first event. So stay tuned and let me know what you think. If you're interested, let me know. If you would prefer in person or digitally, that is over Zoom, so you would be able to follow along. I tell you the particular recipe that I'm going to be doing. In that case, you'd have to get the book so you can follow along. Otherwise, you would take notes. And once you get your ingredients, you will be able to follow along. The event will be recorded, so if you miss it, you can get access to the video. So guys, take care. Until next time, we're out.